My name is Caitlin Gleason, a staff writer and manager for the Brentwood Press, here reporting today as parents of the Brentwood Union School District and Liberty Union School Districts are gathering in the Brentwood Bowl parking lot to protest against mask mandates in schools.
The protests were organized in response to the lifting of mask mandates in California earlier this week. Reason why the protests were organized is due to the fact that despite the lifting of the mandate, many locations such as schools and medical facilities still must have masks indoors. In total, many events happened throughout the day. In the morning, parents went to Bristow Middle School for a protest, and then following that went over to the Liberty Union School District to continue the protest as well. Once those protests were over, parents made their way to the parking lot of Bolero, where they organized and gathered so this way they could march from the parking lot to the Brentwood Union School District office building.
Full time and trying so hard to fight for parental rights. She's doing that by, you maybe have heard of surety bonds. California doesn't have surety bonds, but they have insurance. So it's a little bit different in California, but she's working hard to get parents to file a claim. It really, it's not about getting money as much as it is getting enough power so that the insurance company says, no way, we're not paying that. And then they would drop their insurance and basically leverage. We're trying to leverage our power against the school board and about people in office like the board of supervisors. So it doesn't apply to principals or teachers or anything like that. So you have to go higher. So if you don't know about that, you're going to definitely want to sign up to get on my email list because she's doing training. She just did one last night in Concord, I believe it was. So she moves around wherever she can get enough people. She had one in Brentwood recently and not enough people showed up. So if you guys want to make a difference, that's how you do it. So are there any questions?
Following the speech, organizers of the protest said that they did not wish to give a comment to the newspaper, so we decided to talk to parents and children alike in attendance of the protest to see what their thoughts were regarding its purpose and what they hoped to see from the school districts.
First off, could you just tell me your first and last name and what brings you out here today?
Richard Donice, and I've got 3 kids that go to Marsh Creek Elementary, and don't believe in. We should have the choice to have our kids wear masks or not, you know.
And so as you said, your kids go to Marsh Creek Elementary, and so right now we are at Bristow. So kind of how did you hear about the event that was happening here today?
Pro Freedom Eats on Instagram. That's where I saw it the first time, and then a friend of mine posted it on his Instagram, and then I did the same and put it on mine.
So, you know, obviously there's a really big divide right now between the schools and what a lot of what parents want. When it comes to the ideas of things like compromising and solutions, what are some things that you feel like would be good steps to kind of get there as a resolution between the groups?
That's a tough one. I don't know. I mean, I think it all comes down to choice. I mean, that's what the United States is pretty much based on, right? We should have our rights and our choice, you know, and it shouldn't be infringed upon.
So why don't you guys tell me about what your personal feelings are about, you know, masks and the possibility of vaccine mandates?
They shouldn't be forcing us to do this. It's our right. And we have our own choice. We're not just puppets to the government. So, I mean, whoever wants to wear a mask can wear one, but kids who don't want to wear one, don't want to get vaccinated, shouldn't have to. That's just how it should be.
I hate it. We shouldn't be forced to do it.
I'm here today because my daughter has made a choice to go to school without a mask, and I have made the choice to support my daughter in her decision to attend school without a mask and receive an education just like everybody else. And the reason why I'm out here protesting is because of her not wearing a mask. She's being denied an in-person education. She's being told by the staff that she's not allowed to speak throughout the course of an entire day for not wearing a mask. She's not allowed to speak at school for an entire day. And after 3 days of her attending school, I was notified by the staff that my daughter had been marked unexcused absence for the last 3 days. And I was also informed that she's not allowed to participate in any athletic events that she's been a part of prior to this.
So when it comes to the school dealing with students who don't follow the rules normally when it comes to the mask, how does the school normally handle it from the perspective of the students?
Normally they'll tell you, hey, put on your mask. If you don't do it, then they'll say, you don't put on your mask, you have to, parent will have to put you back, or you have to go home. And that's not right.
Yesterday, how they dealt with it was me and I think 7 of my other friends had to wait in the library for like 6-7 hours straight. Only got lunch and did not get to pick what we wanted. Had to get watched on our way to the bathroom, like we were gonna go run off and do something irresponsible, I guess.
They just handle it bad. Like we were in the library, and my friend was on his phone, and the librarian thought like he was taking pictures of her, and that wasn't the case. And she called admins down, and it just wasn't.
After getting to the Brentwood Union School District office building, the children went inside and began to chant "No more masks" in protest.
No more masks! 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 Take your mask off! No more masks! No more masks! Take it off!
Many of the children went on to converse with members of the Brentwood Union School District, saying that they could not hear them because they were wearing a mask.
I can't hear you. You got the mask on. Just take it down. What? I can't hear you. By yourself. You have a mask. What? I can't understand what you're saying. Take off your mask.
I am here to protest for my 8th grader who has been removed from class. As he stated, they are not giving the kids the proper education. They're supposed to be able to give them the tools. Once they remove them from class, the kids have to be escorted to the bathroom. They cannot leave for lunch. I think everybody should have a choice, and the kids that choose not to wear a mask should not be discriminated against.
These protests come just one day after California announced that it would be taking an endemic approach to COVID in its policies, which means that we have yet to see how it will manifest itself in the coming days.